we have our very first guest on Two Girls, One Quad, and we're making this a regular thing. We're going to have a guest each month. So if you know anyone who would be a great next guest, let us know, although we already have people in mind. So we're gonna make a list. We're gonna make a list.
It's just in my head, not in Notion. Yeah,
It's like we're too type A to not already have a list of people in mind. But Sam is the first one so that we can test out the setup. But so far it looks great. And we got Sam here. Do you want to give us like just a quick intro on who you are?
Yeah. So I am Barbara's co-founder and also husband. I have a growth background. We met at a startup where I was the head of growth. She was the head of content. And then we got married, and then we started an agency together. And now she runs the content side of the agency, and I kind of build the go-to-market stuff. So I build all the automations and workflows that she then adapts for whatever the work. And I also do go-to-market consulting for a few different startups where I just build these kind of AI agents for their marketing and their growth. How's that?
Yeah, no, that's great.
We're so happy to have you, and so happy to actually start the cycle with guests. So what are you going to show us?
I've got a few different things to show, and they're all agents that sort of live in Slack. So I'll kind of give kind of like an overview, a teaser, and then I'm going to show how the flow works, and I'm going to show how each of them actually looks in Slack. They're all built with Claude Code. And they all run with Claude Code, but I think Slack is the best interface to actually get the kind of output from them because all of the work's done in Slack. I guess I'm gonna start with Slack here just to kind of show you what they look like here.
These are my favorite Slack channels of our agency to go into because it makes you feel like you are making a lot of progress with new leads and like your sales pipeline. And you're not really doing anything. So I love going into the Slack channel and I'm like, oh, great, new vertical tested. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I want to emphasize, I'm like, the goal of these is to try to be end-to-end automated. And this vertical agent fully is. So it just sends these reports in the morning. I do literally nothing. So what it does here, you can see the one from this morning here. I'll talk about the health thing because I think that's important. But the actual summary, it just finds all of these contacts at companies, and I have signals and criteria for each. So for me, it's usually like they have fundraising of some kind, or maybe that they're hiring, but it has criteria of how to find these. And then you can see each vertical it's in. So I probably should have made these more applicable. These are very like Sam verticals. So I'm testing defense tech startups.
Sick.
You'll also see American Dynamism, which I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that just overlap with defense tech startups? No, it's actually a totally different vertical. Boring, and we also have regional accounting.
We gotta keep it realistic, at least a little bit.
So far, accounting is performing the best, followed by defense tech startups. So we'll see. It put all of these automatically onto a HeyReach campaign, which I can go show later. But my setup there is pretty simple. It's like I just have a HeyReach campaign for each vertical that it sends them into. But this is the output in Slack each morning. And this is a health check because our agents break sometimes. And so what this does is that each morning before it runs, it basically generates kind of this auth token here and kind of does a test fire. And it does this for a bunch of things. And so this morning, it figured out that one broke. And so instead of posting this, it just gave me this message and was like, hey, you need to go refresh this token. Don't know what that means, but just went into Claude and it did it for me. And then it reran here and it works. So that's kind of how I keep all of these working, because sort of like how we were talking about with keeping up with the Slack or the HeyReach responses, if you're running like multiple agents and they're breaking, it's just really, really hard to remember to go in and check every morning to see if they're still working. Let me go show the actual flow. Okay, so we're gonna see if this works. I'm technically now screen sharing my Mac Mini upstairs through a remote server, so I've never done this before. We'll see if it works. This one is the one I was just showing here. So these are the steps that it does, and again, all of this was built with Claude. I don't understand how any of this works. Starting to recognize the tools more. Like I've seen Exa a lot. I don't really know what Exa is, but I've realized I'm using it for most things somehow now.
Oh, okay.
I love this. Today, when I reviewed like some websites in link building campaign, I was like, oh, this looks like Claude built it. Maybe do not recognize the tools I'm using with Claude, but I do recognize the Claude design pattern a lot.
Yeah, the style.
It's a search API. That makes sense. Cool. Shout out to Exa.
Not sponsored, but it could be.
Yeah, not sponsored. I think I also use Appify for a lot of the searching, which I think is just like a social scraper. But anyway, I'll go through these here.
Appify is a scraper and is widely used not only by Claude but N8N as well. Like I see it a lot in flows that people who use HeyReach use, mostly those who are like highly technical, because it requires a little bit of technical skills when you're using it with N8N, but obviously when you're using it with Claude.
So the first one, it detects, I'll say a signal. Again, mine is currently set to funding, but you could set that signal to anything. Like by signal, it just means a reason for reaching out to someone, like a signal of why they might purchase your service. So other ones I've seen people use, like scraping your engagement on LinkedIn, like the people that comment and like your posts. That's a really good signal that you could build this flow off of. You could do it by competitor posts, honestly. Like anytime one of your competitors makes a LinkedIn post, you could automatically scrape those leads and send them onto a campaign. A lot of really clever stuff you can do, but I think funding is kind of just one of the most basic ones.
What do you use for that? Because mostly people in GTM world are using Trigify, or maybe like Jungler, it's rising now, to scrape all those signals. Do you know what Claude uses for this? Exa?
Yeah, I'm serious. I think Exa is their API search is what's using to scrape that for. Yeah.
So you just tell Claude, like, find me these signals, that's it. You do not connect anything else.
Correct, yeah. I have, it's using the TechCrunch RSS, but I don't have a TechCrunch, I don't pay for that or anything, so it's just scraping them. I think the best way to go about these is, I would have expected it to use Appify for this, because for other social listening ones I have, I do use Appify, but I think it's best to not suggest tools, because from what I can tell, Exas, I don't know if they're actually new or if they're just kind of exploding recently, but I'm hearing about them a lot. I would never have known for it to use this, and it's working phenomenally well, so I'm glad it did its own thing.
Beautiful.
So then it filters by the ICP. I'm interested in early stage startups, so I have it set to seed or Series A. By the time they get to Series B, it's too much. I only work with B2B companies. I don't want any consumer. I want to make sure it's small employee team. So these are all my filters that you can put in for whatever you or your company's ICP is. Again, these tools here, I'm just on the Apollo free plan. I definitely don't pay for Apollo, even though that is a paid tool. I think I might start paying for it instead of Clay, because I've not been enjoying Clay recently, but we'll see. And then Claude just does the actual scoring, so it has point matches to each of these. I don't set any of these things, so when it says a scoring threshold, it's done all of that, and then it prioritizes them based on which ones are a best fit, and it just kind of cuts out all of the people that are irrelevant, because I don't want those on my campaign. And then it finds their information, so that's the enrichment part. Still using Exa. That's so funny. I wonder if it's using if it's just manually searching for them on LinkedIn instead of actually enriching them.
Interesting.
Yeah, right? An 80% hit rate's quite good. That's basically the 20% it's not finding. It means they don't have a LinkedIn profile. And then I push it to the specific HeyReach campaign. Apparently using the HeyReach API. I didn't know I was using the HeyReach API until I asked it.
I cannot with you.
Great.
Yeah, I was, because when I heard about the API announcement, I was like, wait, what have I been using then?
No.
It was oh, I guess I was using the API
earlier as well. We have
Got it,
API
okay.
and webhooks since the start of HeyReach because our strategy is that we adjust to your tech stack. We are not like asking you
Nice.
to adjust to us. So we have really wide integration stacks like natively and then like open like API and webhooks. And we have MCPs since last July or August. But
Nice.
what we did a few days ago is we enhanced that API so additional actions can be triggered. As I said, like NA10 can trigger like automatic creation of campaigns based on data you give him. The thing is that it's still, I wanted to say a little technical, but given the fact that I was just looking like this week with my GTM engineer when he was like executing things, it's a lot of technical steps, and you definitely need a technical GTM engineer or a RevOps to set all those things. So the next phase, that's basically the phase in between like first MCP and the second MCP. So that's the phase in between, and then we will have execution directly from the Claude.
Because I think like right now my accidental workaround, which I didn't even know it was a workaround for, because it just set all this up for me. The best way to go into Claude code is just to demand your outcome, and it will figure out how to get there, and it will make suggestions. Here, you can see that I just have like a campaign for each vertical that I'm testing. These new ones are newer that I've added in here.
Let me see the reply
I'm still
rates.
working on these.
Don't judge us.
Yeah, those are new. Don't judge my testing campaigns. These ones are pretty good though.
sure.
Like the Y Combinator campaign did really, really well. I have a super simple campaign here. So it just sends a connection request. I include like a little note, and then it sends one message. There's no follow-ups or anything, and it has a really good performance rate. So it just sends the leads under each of these campaigns. And I also have lists set up for each. For like the accounting vertical test, it basically finds the leads each morning and then sends them into HeyReach, and then that sends them into the campaign, and that's how it happens all automatically.
This part I've been trying to figure out for the last 2 years, how to like have an active campaign constantly going, basically, that's giving us leads. And I was just like, it's not working out. It's not time, it's not energy. There's just something that like breaks in my process here. And then I told Sam about it, and then he was like, I can fix that with Claude. And this is what the result is.
You just kind of automate like one piece of your work, and you keep making it better and better. So like I had done it up to here and it was working, but then I was like, is it working? Like, did any leads get sent this morning? So I added the daily morning briefing where in Slack it tells me, here's how many leads you added. Here's the leads that were added. Here's how many responses you got. So like, actually don't think I got any. I don't think oh yeah, there we go. So this is like the last one. See, it sends me like a little notification here when I get a response from that campaign, so that I can know which vertical is winning.
Walk us through the setup. Basically, like, what did you say to Claude? Did you use Claude Chat or Cowork or Code?
This is my ongoing Claude Chat for building one of these agents. Like, it's not like you just drop in a prompt and then it builds it. Like, it's still a process. And certain things it can't do and I have to do. And then it, like, you get to just see me chatting with it here, where it's like, okay, when it's saying 44 sent, do you mean that literally those 44 people were sent into HeyReach? And it was like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like you're like literally chatting with a coworker whose feelings you don't have to worry about hurting.
That's a great
Like,
explanation.
it's really sassy.
You two are just like two bullies.
I say thanks though. Look, thanks.
That's nicer than me.
Okay.
I think like to your question of like what the prompt that you use, I think this is more interesting. It's like what I did first is I went into chat, and then I just had chat describe what I want to build. And then I had it put all of that information on how to build it into a Markdown file. And then I just put it into this folder here. So my very first message is, there's a build file in your project folder for a new agent. Just start building it. And then it opens it and it knows exactly what to build.
Okay, and when you started chatting with Chat,
Yeah.
Claudia and Chad, did you start like build me this or that, or you started with I have this challenge that I don't know how to fix and help me fix it, or what was the process there?
That's a good question. I start with what I want to build. So I already have a solution in mind. And so for this one, it's like, it's already a process that I would run manually. The new client agent, it's like, well, what's it really doing? It's what I would used to do. It's like I would go find relevant people on LinkedIn based on something that I think is a reason they would be good client. Maybe it's like, you know, you see someone's fundraising announcement and then I would go find their email and then I would go write them a personal message and send it to them. So it's kind of what I was doing as a growth person manually already. And then I just wanted to automate it. And so can I see my project folder here anywhere? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Here's the vertical agent one.
Oh, there we go. There's like a purpose and everything. System architecture.
And again, it wrote all of this based on my voice note. Like I usually just transcribe a voice note and I'll ramble for literally like 10 minutes, just rambling about everything that I want this agent to do. And then it organizes it into this for me.
Where I kind of literally told you what I can't seem to fit into my workflow so that you know what I need for this to get done. So as many details as you can possibly give it, even if you can't figure out what the mechanism behind it is and what the system is going to look like, it will figure it out for you. So just give him like a challenge, but add as many details as you possibly can. You can't just be like, I want to do LinkedIn outreach and I want it automated. Like it's gonna spit out something, but it's probably not gonna be good because it's not gonna be like a bespoke version for you.
And just to emphasize, I don't understand any of this. This entire build document is effectively a black box to me. Like, what is this even talking about? Use proxy curls? That means nothing to me. So I don't want to be screen sharing this and then have someone be looking at this build file and being like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, me either, but Claude knows it. So that's why I always have a danger auto mode turned on. It's like, I don't know what you're doing anyway, Claude. So it's like, if you ask me permission to do something, it means nothing to me.
Yeah. And just like all of our other episodes, we are all still non-technical. So like, if we can do this means that other marketers could do it as well. And I think it's very powerful to have it in Slack or whatever environment you're using every single day, because that's how you can kind of very quickly see it. Especially if there's still this one manual process that we have to do, which I'm sure we can automate it soon. But like right now, we get the message draft written directly there in Slack, and then we have to basically send it manually. And can you also explain, like, I know that you added that feature, but then obviously the first kind of responses it started drafting were terrible. They were like such generic AI slop with like riddled with M dashes. Like it was, and then you kind of fixed it. And now I have to say, when I look at it, I'm like, I would have written a worse response. I'm more happy with this than what I would have said.
Wait, let's look at one of the early ones and then one of the newer ones. Because some of the early responses were really funny.
Yeah, it was comical how like AI it was.
Yeah, okay, so this was a real response we got from someone. It's like, hey, could you please share your previous work or decks? I'd love to check it out. Like a very normal response to get to a campaign. Totally get it. Budget's tight at this stage. I'll send over a couple case studies anyway. One's a founder doing content herself. Might actually be useful as a reference. So that's not like terrible.
It's very irrelevant.
It's irrelevant, and it would be an awkward message to send.
Writing, we can optimize for that. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And you got it to a really good state now.
Yeah, so let me show one of the recent ones here. So now it's like message someone else. Hey, thanks for reaching out. Definitely interested in learning more, but realistically, we'll only have bandwidth to engage properly in like a month. Response, perfect. A month works. I'll send over a quick one-pager on what we do and circle back then so it's fresh. That's a pretty good response. I would change it a little bit. Like what I actually sent to this guy is I just copied this and then I said, perfect, I'll set a reminder to reach out in a month, as if to say like, hey, I'm going to be on it. And I did. And then I think I scheduled a Slack message in here even just for like 1 month from now that just like tags us and reminds us to reach out. Or maybe I did in our leads channel. I forget. But
Oh, nice.
Anyway.
Wow, thank you. And by the way, this is all like, these are sent from, I think, my account. So like, thanks for doing all of that for me.
Well, it's 50-50. Half are yours and half are mine. So
Right, yeah.
I really want to show this as just kind of like a more fun demo. So this is a different model of one that's using roughly the same structure. It's just that the signal is people hiring like marketing, growth, go-to-market people. And my assumption there is that if they're hiring for that, they might be interested in like consulting work or maybe paying me to build something for them. Who knows? So this is using Appify, and it looks on both Twitter and LinkedIn, or X, sorry, X and LinkedIn, and it finds people posting about job listings. So if I click on view post here, it's like it's a person posting about an open job. That's really
so not like a
important.
job role on LinkedIn.
Exactly. It's like they might link to the job description, but it's not looking at LinkedIn's jobs here. Like if I click on this jobs tab, this is what everyone does. They go to their jobs tab and they look through here. Terrible way to go about it. You want to find the people that are sharing about the post, because that's a person that you can then DM. So if anyone out there is job hunting right now, you should totally do this. This is like the ace in the hole for finding a job. It works so well. So that's the alerts. So all of these here are just LinkedIn posts that it found, or Twitter posts of people posting, hey, I'm looking for so-and-so. And then it tells me what industry they're in. It gives the title and the company. Oh, I thought that said EXA for a second. I was like, we should reach out to EXA. They're going to get such a kick out of this video.
Yeah.
Maybe we get the first sponsor.
They're like, we've never encountered someone using our product so intensely that has literally no idea what it is or what it does.
I had to like look at the screenshot you were sharing to figure out like, wait, how is it spelled, Exa? Like, what is happening?
Same.
I actually should mention that too. My rough monthly cost for these is like $30-40 a month.
Are you running that on Pro or on Max?
I have the Max plan on Claude, so okay, technically I wasn't counting that monthly cost in it. The $30-40 is like the Appify, the Exa, because those scraping, it costs like a fraction of a cent per scrape or something like that.
Those tools plus HeyReach plus, do you even, like, you can probably just get away with a free LinkedIn account. I don't think you need like any upgrades or anything like that.
No, good point on HeyReach though. So I'm not taking into account that cost either. So HeyReach, Appify / Exa, I'll call that the $30-40. Claude Max. But again, you don't need the Max plan to do this on Claude. It's just that I use Claude a ton, so I have to have the Max plan. But like, you could probably do this you could definitely do this on the $20 a month Claude plan. You might just have to do it over the course of several days if you hit your token limits.
Cost can vary from $100, 150 to 500, let's say, like that.
Not to open up a whole other can of worms, but like Bojana, what I want to do next is these campaigns are working so well. Like the performance is getting so many demos booked that I want to tap into. What's your guys' email integration? Do you partner with Instantly or someone?
We have Instantly, we have Smart Lead, and from
Smart Lead's my favorite.
Today we have Email Bison as well.
Okay, nice.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Me either, but I was before I started launching it, but I learned that it's a big deal right now.
Okay.
From recently.
I'm a huge Smart Lead fan, so I'm going to try to connect that. But it's like 50 to 60% of people or something like that on my best performing campaigns will accept my LinkedIn request, and then those other people I'm just not hitting. So I want to connect email, but that's a completely other track from this.
What worked for me for a few campaigns is to have paid LinkedIn but Sales Navigator, so I can unlock email. And I combined like connection requests, DMs, emails, and I connect it instantly, but you can do instantly or smart lead, whatever. And whoever drops from that just goes to instantly. So.
What a marketing
They can
line.
never read off me.
That's
We're
hilarious.
gonna have so many sponsors, you guys. They're probably gonna be like, "We're not sponsoring you. You already pitched the products. You did the work. We're not paying."
Yeah.
That's the really funny thing about this is like you take Exa into account. It's like we haven't actually made a recommendation for it. It's just that Claude uses it, and it's what Claude decided to use. So really, they're just super good at AEO, I guess. Me telling Claude what tool to do feels like going into my doctor and telling him the prescription to write me. It's like, I might know, but I'm paying you to be the doctor, so like you should probably be telling me what you think is right.
It knows which tools to use, and I would like to know which criteria it used, because for some things you still need to have connectors and to say explicitly like use this connector to give me this information. For example, if you're analyzing some website, I'm sorry guys, I am always putting it to SEO side because I'm doing that the most, but if you're analyzing a certain website, it will give you trashy results unless you say it to use HS connector, or if someone is using SEMrush, I don't know, but I use HS. So I'm like, no, use specifically this connector to analyze this and that and give me that and that and that metrics. So for some things, like you really need to be specific.
Look at these. They have buttons here for a check and a red X. So if I hit the check on one of these, it means that I liked the listing, because all of these I'm not going to like. I want to go through and hit each one. So this is like a semi-automated one if you don't want to just kind of automatically yeet everyone into the campaign. So it will generate a response and enrich it. So it takes a couple minutes, because what it's going through to do right now is it's going and finding their LinkedIn and their email. And so if I like it, it will enrich it, it will write a post for me, and it will eventually put it in the thread here. I can look at like this one as an example. You can see here it writes the post like, hey, saw you were looking for yada, yada, yada. I think I could do this for you. And then it actually finds the contact with their LinkedIn profile. I don't know why it put the duplicate there. And then I added in the email as well so that you can actually go reach out to them. So that's kind of nice. But also, if you hit the red X, it starts to learn which ones you're clearing out. And so it's kind of like a self-learning agent where it over time figures out which ones you like and which ones you don't like. So it not only writes the message for you and puts the contact info, but when you hit the X, it'll be like, oh, okay, Sam is not liking any of these that mention consumer apps, so I'm going to stop putting those in, and it just gets better and better over time.
I'm actually very interested in some of these like agent capabilities, like learning over time, because I feel like that's, especially for like if you're running your own business, that's so valuable. But it seems like that's literally a difference between like, are you going to learn from all of the instructions over time in your MD file or not? It seems to be like you don't really need to like train it. You just need to like tell it that it should do that.
Well, and HeyReach has a sweet new thing I found out in their API this morning, that you can actually have it learn from all of your existing conversations. And so then it writes better in your own tone of voice.
Yeah, that's sick.
Addition.
Come back in, Bojana.
Put me in, coach.
The thing that you're able to do now will get significantly better, because you're going to be able to understand like what's your reply rate in semantic ways, so positive replies, negative replies, etc. But tell me, I saw the in the agent in Slack, I saw that for some conversations, like you have both like green check mark and like an X. So how it's learning if you're like giving like or her like mixed signals?
So these I haven't hit yet. It includes one of each by default. This is a very funny, like this stuff happens all the time when you're building agents. I had asked it to put these as buttons next to the view post that I could just click. and it came back and was like, you're never gonna believe this. That's actually a really fucking hard thing to do, and we're gonna have to rewrite the whole thing if you want that. We can do it, but it's gonna be terrible. Would you be okay if I just auto-populate it with a check and an X, and then you can just click the auto-populated ones? And I was like, oh yeah, that's way better than rewriting the whole thing. I actually hadn't thought about, like, oh, I'm the only one using this. I don't really know what it would do if I also hit the red check. I mean, I'm assuming it would just do both. It would write the response, and it would find all the contact info, but then it would also learn that I didn't like it. But that's just an assumption.
You're gonna give it anxiety. Okay. It's gonna get confused.
Well, that's interesting. It's still going. Why is it finding more people? Maybe it didn't like
showing off for our live.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, look what I can.
How did you set it up? This one, did you also like set to Claude Chat like fix me this, build me this, and then like go to Claude Code and just add it MD, or?
Yeah, so this one, I knew that I wanted to find the posts of people hiring. Like it came to me when this guy was looking for a go-to-market engineer and hiring them full-time, but he was not paying them near enough to be based in New York City where he was hiring. And I just wanted to, like, I just felt an instinct to reach out to him and be like, dude, you should not do that. If you find someone that's willing to accept that salary for this role in New York City, they're going to be terrible. You should just pay me way less money and I can do it on a fractional basis for you. But those are the ones that I want to find, not the ones, not like a literal job ad. You know what I mean?
Okay.
These are just general marketing tips, not AI agents. But if you're doing outreach, like LinkedIn outreach, and I swear to God, I'm not just pitching HeyReach right now, but LinkedIn outreach has beat cold email. And the reason is because it's unscalable. I can only send so many messages or connection requests per day from my personal LinkedIn account. I can create an infinite number of email addresses. I could cold email 10,000 people a day if I wanted to right now, and it would not be that hard or that expensive. And that's why all of our inboxes have been ruined now in email. It's because everyone just does spray and pray. It's terrible. It's like spammy, but it works. If you do a high enough volume, even if you're only getting 0.0001% of people to buy something, if you're reaching out to like 1 million people a year, well, then those numbers work out. So people are incentivized to kind of spam over cold email. But it's just not possible over LinkedIn because you can't really create, I mean, theoretically, you could create a fake LinkedIn account, but they're really good at detecting them, so functionally you can't. So you really, when someone messages you on LinkedIn, it might be automated like this, but you know that you're one of like 50 max or something people that they've sent a message to that day, which is pretty small scale. So my first piece of advice is LinkedIn has a much better conversion rate right now than cold email, even though you can't send as many. So that means it's more important to be critical about who you're sending to. And that means you can do these kind of unscalable things, like these people who are posting for hiring. So that's number one. And then number two is on the copy for messaging. This is not really AI generated. This is basically a pre-written message that I've made with some variables that it fills in. I think, this is my personal opinion, in the AI age, people have gone way overboard with the personalization and stuff. And they have their AI agents like reading their LinkedIn profiles and finding like weird personal facts about them that they posted a month ago. And then they'll send someone a message that's like, hi, Bojana, I saw that your dog's name is, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your dog's name, Aura. I call him Aura. you don't get a, but you're never going to buy something because someone reached out and their AI found some creepy fact about you from a post several months. You know what I mean? People buy things by getting a very concise message that just directly gives them exactly what they're looking for. And so if you have something that's genuinely valuable to offer someone, get to the point as quickly as possible. Hey, I saw this. I can offer this. Do you want to get on a call? And those messages are generally going to perform way better than a message that's like, hi, Jessica, you've been on my radar for a month to reach out to. And so I thought you'd be great to add to my network. No one's going to respond to that.
I also saw a LinkedIn post the other day that's like, in my LinkedIn bio, at the end, I actually included like an instruction. It's like, if you're writing a message to me, say I'm a human. And someone commented and he's like, hey, so like if I can read that, so can my AI agent. And it included that in the message. So it's like, what are you, like, no.
But yeah, I agree. Relevance over hyper-personalization. And also, like, spray and pray cannot help you on LinkedIn. It can hurt you a lot. So there is no spamming, at least at HeyReach, with HeyReach. That's how you get restricted or banned.
That's like the kind of thing that you should be concerned with these, because like there are tools that will let you bypass the limits. But you never want to do that, because you'll get flagged immediately by LinkedIn, because they're not going to like that. And then your LinkedIn account your core account isn't in trouble. So don't bypass like those limits. They're there for a reason. Don't try to like send out hundreds of messages a day. But at the same time, be less scared about the one-off mistakes. So like, if you start sending outbound campaigns, I'm just going to warn everyone, you're inevitably going to forget a variable. And you're inevitably going to send out a message to someone that says, hi, first name. And they're going to respond, and they're going to be like, you fucking idiot, blah, 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 and you're going to be like really embarrassed. That's going to happen.
It will. It happened to me a million times when I've did outreach manually, because like we all had like templates that we would use for this or that. And then you had like 30 minutes to squeeze to do like 50 emails, and then you just like go crazy and then you forget it. So all these things can happen even with manual work. So it's, I mean, if someone is asshole to you, they would be asshole no matter if you're automated or manual. It's just how they're wired. That's it.
I've noticed people get really scared of is like it messaging someone that you actually know. That's not an issue at all. People get so nervous about it. When it happens, just say, sorry, my automation got you. Hope you're doing well. And then you're going to have a great conversation with that person you maybe didn't speak to in a while. This happened to me the other day, and it was like kind of an awkward one. And I just responded, and I was just like, I was like, sorry, Austin, it's my new agent. It got you. And he responded, and he was like, oh, that's sick. He was like, what's your agent doing? Where did it find me from? And I was like, oh, it's because he had sponsored this thing, and it scraped you. And then we had a conversation about the agent, and he was like, you should let me know next time you're in SF. We should go over some of this stuff. And then it's like, turns into a great conversation. The only real concern is like, if you're scraping a competitor's LinkedIn post and, or like, I don't know, if you're messaging like a competitor dissing them or something, that could get awkward, but like that's just so rare, and exclusion lists are just like not that complicated. So
as a human, I certainly make more errors than AI, so I'm like,
good point.
You know,
yeah,
statistically,
it's way less awkward to be like, oh, sorry, my stupid Claude.
The amount of times I made a mistake in Slack and I'm like, oh, sorry, that was AI. And I'm like, that was fully me. That was all on me, but I'm gonna blame Claude.
I love how everyone has different reason. I mean, like, because as I said, like, I run SEO campaigns. So when someone says like, oh, like, I don't work there anymore, but like they're still having like open like the spot there, and I'm like, but you didn't change it. Clay caught it, so but I do not explain.
So it's your fault, actually.
It's you. If you updated your LinkedIn, I wouldn't be in your DMs. Think about that.
That's Bojana's outbound tip, everybody. When a mistake happens, always blame the person on the receiving end.
Yes.
Get a response. Hey, I think your automation's broken. Well, that sounds like a you problem.
We gotta wrap it up, you guys.
Will you share your MD files with us?
Yes. That's what I was going to say. I should have mentioned that right at the beginning, that no one needs to be concerned about actually like the chat of how I did this, because I'll just put it all into a Markdown file, and then it should take everyone like a fifth of the time it took me because it's already figured out all the steps. So we can include that in the Substack.
Perfect. Okay.